Opposition pursuit. So at the moment, our player can just run rings around our opposition because it doesn't actually do anything. It just basically bounces off us when we kick the ball at it and it makes a noise. So we are going to add some code to the opposition player himself or herself. So we will chase the ball, not chase us, but chase the ball, and we'll kind of just keep chasing it around the pitch, and hopefully eventually score a goal. I haven't kind of worked out how I'm going to code that bit yet, if at all. But anyway, so at this stage, I'm going to add, if I just minimize these two bits here, a bit of code to our opposition, and we're going to call it pursuit. Yeah, we call it that actually. That seems a reasonable enough name. It'll load up down here like the codes always do, and then we're just going to double click on it so it opens up in Visual Studio. So all we're going to need to do, or all you guys are going to need to do, is basically use this code here, and I'll explain them when it's actually within this. So I'm just going to paste over the top of these guys here. So we need to tell the opposition or the code what the ball is. We need to refer to the opposition, which is this, which is the opposition itself, because we have put this code directly onto it. And then it is going to kind of basically face the ball. Now, at this stage, it's not actually going to chase the ball, but it's just going to turn to watch the ball in wherever it is on the pitch then. And I do need to get rid of these. I don't actually need them just to reduce the amount of code which is there. So it's probably better if I show you this more than anything. So when I save it and I come back onto here, before I press play, there are a couple of little things which I need to drag and drop across. So it's not a couple, it's only one thing actually, it's just the ball. So if we click on the opposition itself, so where's he gone? But there, and you'll see that it's saying, well, what is the ball? So I'm literally just going to drag the ball across here to say this is what you're going to be looking at. So when I press play, and I kind of know something's not going to quite go right straight away with this, because remember in the last video I showed you how to basically rotate the opposition so it's facing us. Now it's kind of like looking completely the wrong way now, and you're thinking, well, why is it doing that? But if I just kick the ball up, you can see that it is turning. If I kick it across a bit, I completely missed it then. It is actually following to look at the ball, but it's kind of looking at it from a 90-degree angle. So if I just correct this a moment, so you'll notice for my opposition is currently at Z90, which means that's why it's facing to the left. It's technically 270 degrees. So all I need to do, where it says angle here, I just need to take away the 90 which I put on Unity for it. So this time when I run it, it should be facing the ball head on every single time. And it loads up like that, so it's kind of like you won't notice it's doing anything different at this stage. So it will be facing directly towards the ball because that's where it is in the middle of the pitch. So if I press play, and it should track the ball everywhere it goes now. So I'm just going to kick it at it, to be honest, at this stage. So, and you think, well, nothing's happening. But as soon as I knock the ball away, you can see that he is pointing directly towards the goal. So that's kind of like a good thing for like a turret gun. So basically, it will follow something around and then shoot at it when it comes in range. So that's lovely, but it's watching the ball, but it's still not really doing much other than just deflecting the ball off us. So we need to add a little bit more code to what we've done so far in this pursuit code. And in particular, we're going to be adding these yellow bits here. So we're going to be adding these bits at the top, up here underneath these lines. So we're basically giving it something called movement. We're going to allow it to move at 5 speed. Let me just backspace there. And these extra bits of code which come underneath what we've currently done, so this will go after the angle bit we just did, which is there, and that should be enough. And basically what this does then is basically allow the player, or the opposition I should say, to move towards the ball, so it's constantly moving and not stopping even if it does hit there. So if I save that and I go back onto our game, and hopefully we don't have any errors. Oh, we do have an error. Oh no. So basically I think I'm just missing something at the end of it. So line 36, I've got too many brackets. So if I just save that and come back, I hate that when that happens. It's just me not paying attention. So what will happen when I press play? The whistle will blow. It's not waiting for the whistle, but the opposition will come tearing at the ball straight away. And I did put a massive 500 on it on an earlier video, so I don't know if it's just going to completely steamroll me out of the way, but we'll see what happens now. So here he comes. So he's going to come chasing straight towards the ball. I'm going to try kicking it off him. And as you can see, he chases the ball whichever way it goes. So I'm going to try to score. Something just to add, if you find that your opposition is basically getting the ball and hogging it and gets kind of trapped in corners and stuff like that, you might just need to look at some of the stats for him. So I reduced the mass to mine to its 100. I've also, on the rigid body for the opposition, that is, I've also freeze the rotation on Z. I don't think there's anything else I need to say about that bit. The ball itself needs to have a massive 1. I think we had a massive 2 on the video which you've just seen. And the last thing, the opposition itself needs to have a bounce, because otherwise when the ball kind of like gets to it, it doesn't bounce off him. So the way you added a material to the ball in the first place to make it bounce off the sides and so on, you just simply right click, go to create, 2D and physics material 2D, and then for the opposition I did the friction as 1, the bounciness as 0, and then I basically dragged that up so it was on the rigid body here, so it just dragged it across to that area, and then you shouldn't have the issue where it's getting stuck.